Welcome to this SQL part. Now, in this SQL programming, we will now have a glimpse towards key constraints. So, constraints are nothing but some enforcing of a rules over the tables. And what will be some of the constraints will be: one, we call it as not null; two, unique; three, primary key; fourth one was foreign key; and fifth one was a check constraint. So when I'm going to call about a not null, that means some data must be in that specific attribute. Unique, there is no duplicate values. Primary key, I can say it is not null and unique, and there is no redundancy, there is no duplicate values when we call it as primary key. And foreign key, it is going to act as a reference key, and it is going to join, or I can say link between two tables. That is all regarding the foreign key. And check was it sees some range, or it is going to meeting a criteria. So we enforce a check whether that condition is satisfied or not. So in this way, we are going to we use this check option here. So now the syntax was here, how we can define a constraint. So constraint, yeah, it can be defined to a table, it can be defined to a column, to a table, etc. So now you can see here, create table. Thereby we made some schemas, some attributes. Then we can apply a constraint to the column level. Similarly, constraint can be applied to a table level. Constraint can be applied to constraint. It can be applied to a table, or it can be applied to a column. So both of them, a key constraint is going to happen. So now you can see here, not null is going to be a constraint to the job ID. We call it as column level constraint. Then we are going to have a keyword called as a constraint. Then we get the name of a constraint, and we are going to mimic this primary key to the employee ID. We are bringing this primary key to an employee ID. Now this is what we call it as table level constraint. So one, we called it as column level. Another, we are going to call here as a table level. So that's what we define, and it is taken up towards a table. We call it as a table level constraint. When it is taken up towards a column, it is going to call a column level constraint. So now, how not null is going to be pretended, or how a not null is going to see. So it ensures that the null values are not permitted for a column. You can see 100, 101, 2. So everything is going to be full here. So no row is going to contain a missing value or etc. But here you can see this is null value. But this entire column, you call it as a not null. This entire column, we are going to call it as a not null aspect. So absence of a data at that point, we call here as a null. So the key constraint we are going to give here was not null. and then it is applicable for the way we are going to give it to a column, that is column constraint. Then we are see here we make a constraint that is towards a table level, and of course internally we are bringing up a column constraint that is not null. Next comes no duplicate values. When we want to see that there are no duplicate values, then we are going to use this constraint called as a unique. So when we make it as a unique value, there is no duplicates here. So JSmith, yeah, it is going to be allowed once, but when it is going to take up JSmith again, then you say not allowed already exists. That means Smith entry was already recorded, then you can't just give new Smith, so that it is going to have an error at this point. So because it is already taken up in the field and the value should be very unique, so you can say no duplicates and there is no redundancy. So for that we are going to use this constraint called as a unique value. So in general, when we talk about a unique key, that is we don't want that item to be primary key, but it can be a secondary at that content. So secondary keys altogether, emails, etc. At that point of time, we are going to give as a unique at this point. So constraint employee email unique key, and it is given as unique. So this can be treated as a secondary key, and it is towards no duplicate values are going to take up. Now you can have a department ID at this point. It is 10, 20, 30, 60 and 180 here. So now these are going to be repeated. These will be repeated or only once. So we have a occurrence. We have its occurrence. It will happen only once at a time. So it is going to occur only once. 10, 20, 30, 60. So their occurrence, they are going to happen at a turn. And second thing, they are going to be unique and they are going to be not null. They are going to be unique and they are going to be not null. So you can say that no null values are not going to be allowed at this point. So this is value empty space, so it is rejected, and same 50 and 50 are there, so you can't go with this. That's the reason why at this point of time you can't go with the repeated value. Now how can I declare this primary key, etc. was you have to create a table called as a departments and then name department name, and you created a constraint with the department name and it is not null, and then some name has to be there, so you call here as a constraint. Thereby we are going to have a manager, thereby we are going to have a location ID. Now what was the constraint was what was the condition was you have department ID as a primary key and it is going to take up with the department ID. So primary key now we are going to give up as a constraint, so it can be either at the table or it can be at the column level. So in general, this putting at this point, it is going to be at the column level, and now it is migrated to the table level. So it is the level change what is going to happen for the primary key. So there was a table called as a departments. There was a table called as an employee. Now you are mimicking the department table, you are mimicking the employee table. So for that we are going to use this reference key as a foreign key here. So now you want to join this department ID to the employee. You want to join the department ID to the employee table. So obviously we can link the tables. We can link the multiple tables. We can link the, multiple tables here at this point of time. So for that we are going to multiple tables. So at this point of time we are going to use the foreign key. We will use this foreign key. So now foreign key mechanism, it is a constraint where it is going to join two fields here. So already there was an existing field 9 in the table. So at this point of time there is no insert operation because there is a foreign key constraint which is going to happen. Next one, there is a department number 60 and 2014 and that person is not available in the table, and 60 was already in the employee table, in the department table, therefore this entry is going to be allowed. But 9 entry, so I'm going to have only 10, I'm going to have only 10 here. So 9 is not existing, therefore the record with 9 was not allowed. But when I'm going to call with the 50th element, yeah, of course it is available, so we gave into that model. So now we are going to give up a constraints at the table level. So how can I make a constraint was I'm going to use this word called as a reference. We are going to call here as a reference, and there we are going to bring up the word called as a foreign key. We are going to bring up the word called as a foreign key here, and this foreign key, it is referring to the value which is in another table, that is department ID. So department ID, it is going to be referring to the value called as a department ID. So this department ID is local variable of employee. Now it is pointing to global department ID of department table. It is pointing to the global department table. So that was the thing what we are going to understand as a part of a foreign key. So when we work with the foreign key, especially that too, because we take one table and we link it to another table. Suppose if one table is dropped, will it affects the other? Yeah, it affects the other. That is what we call it as on delete cascading. So if the dependent table, dependent rows in the child table, when a row in the parent is deleted, obviously it is also going to be deleted. So the table, it is going to have some entry and this is dependent here. Now if the base table, parent table is deleted, then obviously this child table entry is also going to be removed. So that is what we call it as on delete cascade. Similarly, at this point of time, we are going to set a null. We are going to give a value as a null, that it is going to convert the dependent foreign key values to the null. So if I don't want to remove an entry permanently, then we are going to use this null value so that it is keeping the record, but inside it, the values, it is going to give it as a null. Another way of declaring the key constraint was with a check option. Check, it is going to give some condition to be met. What condition it has to take up, that condition it is need to be followed. For that we are going to say it defines a condition that the row must be satisfied. So what it is going to refer, it is going to refer to a current value, it is referring to the next value, or it is going to refer to the levels, or it is going to refer to some row number or a pseudo column number. So check, basically it is make a condition what it needs to be met. So I'm going to see that there was a constraint. That constraint, it is going to check for an employee salary, and this employee salary should always be greater than 0. So the employee salary should not be less than 0. So for that we are going to put a condition at this point of time. So now how we are going to add a constraint was we can alter the table and we can add a constraint, or we can drop a constraint. We can say alter table, some add constraint, and thereby we can fix up the constraint. Similarly, another operations, what we can say is we can add a constraint, we can drop a constraint, we can enable a constraint, we can disable a constraint, and we can say it is a not null constraint. So any of an event can be happened when we are going to work with a constraint here. So we have an alter table followed by employees. Now we are going to make an add constraint operation. So at this point of time, we are going to make a reference to an employee table. We are making to a reference to an employee table, and thereby we are going to add a constraint towards the manager. We are going to add a constraint to the manager as it is going to be a foreign key at this point. So another interesting thing was we have already added some constraint. Now can we drop the constraint? Yeah, answer was true. We are going to drop the constraint. How can we drop? We can make an alter operation. We can remove the content. So that is altering the table. We say it is dropping of the constraint. So for that we are going to give here as a drop constraint. So some moment of time, as we do with an antivirus, if some website we are referring, and if our antivirus was blocking, what we will do was we will temporarily disable the antivirus for an hour, after 10 minutes, etc. Okay, fine. After 10 minutes of the work, again we want protection to our laptop. So obviously what we say, we will enable the antivirus. In the same way, to do some set of operations, we are going to make a disabling operation, or we are going to make an enabling operation over the constraints. So how can we enable or how can we disable was, we can make an alter table on the employee that we are going to disable that constraint, and the name of the constraint was and the name of a constraint was employee ID primary key and cascade. So if at one point of time it is affected, then obviously the child tables which are pertaining to that constraint is also going to be affected. Okay, our job is done. Now we need to enable the constraint. So at this point of time we have disabled the constraint. Now how can I make an enable of a constraint? Yeah, we are going to have this enabling of a constraint. It is going to add the integrity constraint currently disabled in the table definition. So whatever we have disabled that constraint, again we have to see that it gets enabled. Then we are going to use this alter table, and we make an enable of a constraint. So unique or a primary key index is automatically created if you enable a unique or primary key constraint. So that is how we are going to work with the enable of constraints. So at one point of time we have added a constraint, and then we need to remove automatically. Then we will see that the constraint is going to use the concept of a cascading of a constraint. So we have added some constraint, we have modified that constraint. Now we should understand whether the constraint was existing or not, whether the constraint was existing or not. For that we are going to say viewing of a constraint. For that we call it as viewing of a constraint. So how we can view a constraint was, we have a predefined information from user constraints. So this is a Oracle proprietary word, that is user constraint. So whatever constraints we have created, all the constraints, they are going to be recorded in the user table. So that's how we are going to get this information. So constraint table name with some search condition, we make this user tables, and for the table name employees. So whatever constraints we have nominated on the employee table, all the constraints, they are going to be visualized to her. So we made a constraint at the employee name, we made a constraint at this we made a constraint name called as over the last name, first name, date, and not null, and salary into some value. So all this we are going to do it on a employee table. So whatever constraints we have imposed on employee table, we want to check it up. Then we are going to say viewing of the constraint. And we have this user constraints. This is the predefined reserved locations. So for that we are going to have this user constraints. Next comes the viewing the columns and its associated columns. At this point of time, we have column name, and then um, uh, we make this table as an employee, and whatever associated is nothing but it is between tables, or it is going to be between columns, etc. So now you can say the column constraints, it is going to happen. So we have employee department, foreign key, not null, unique key, primary key, not null, foreign key, and not null. So all these aspects, they are going to be towards the viewing of the constraint which is created at a column level. So in general, we can say constraints are some conditions which are going to be imposed over a database, and they should be met in order to have an efficient use of transactions, etc. So as a whole, we discussed about not null, unique, primary key, foreign key, and check constraints. So this is one of a query we can look into up. Alter table, add constraint, my employee ID PK, that is we created an employee table and we can add a constraint directly to that table. So these are some of the examples what we can interpret at this time of